Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking all about Cerberus. So Cerberus is a doggy and he has 3 heads and he is Hades' best friend. But his main important role is guardian of the underworld. So Cerberus is Hades' most loyal guardian of the underworld. He's one of the most famous monsters in Greek mythology. Cerberus was an enormous 3-headed dog, just think Fluffy from Harry Potter, and both guarded the underworld against unwanted intruders and kept the souls of the dead safely within its borders. While he was known mostly as a 3-headed dog, Cerberus is sometimes described as having a snake for a tail in addition to a mane of snakes. According to some, his slobber was poisonous and he may have been used by the witch Hecate. Cerberus was a child of the original monster of Typhon, Echidna, and therefore he had siblings of many of the other impressive monsters in Greek mythology. In pop culture, often a version of Cerberus appears in Harry Potter as Hagrid's dog Fluffy, positioned to guard the location of the Sorcerer's Stone. In Greek mythology, he is most famously been captured by the hero Hercules and as one of the last of his 12 labours. In the story, a man named as Eurystheus intended for this to kill Hercules. He didn't actually want to see the monstrous dog. According to some, Hercules completed the labours with the help of Persephone. She gave Hercules the dog and brought him back to Eurystheus without any incident. According to others, Hades instructed Hercules so that he could take the dog, providing he was able to overcome the beast without any weapons. He could use only his 2 hands. Hercules was also the strongest of the gods' heroes, and he was able to track down Cerberus and bring him back with no trouble at all. Famous musician and hero Orpheus also encountered Cerberus on his journey to the underworld to bring back his wife Eurydice. As with Fluffy and Harry Potter, he was able to lure him with a harp. So Cerberus, who Homer calls the Hound of Hades, he was one of the brood monsters which included the Hydra of Lerna and the Cimeraria, who was spawned by Typhon, and half maiden and half serpent Echidna. He was variously described as having many as 50 to 100 heads and as few as 3. So he always had 3 heads. And some people say that actually Cerberus wasn't one of those monsters. He actually came from Argos. He was actually a dog to one of the kings, and the king basically didn't want to know him when he came back from war. And when Cerberus died, he was lonely and he was sad. And when he went into the underworld, because dogs can go to heaven too, remember, he went down there and Hades was like, hang on a minute, you can be a part of my world, a part of my life. I need you. You can be my guard. You can look after the underworld for me, and gave him a new purpose of life. And in the Great Goddesses by Nikita Gill, her poetry, she actually talks about this. And there's actually a poem that I kind of want to read. I'm not going to read it all. I'm just going to read a little bit of it. But it's actually so sweet, and it makes me really sad because it just shows that a dog does have feelings, it does have emotions, and to become Cerberus and to have a role and a new purpose is just so sweet. It says here that basically when the dog passed away, he said his eyes opened again and 2 men stood before me. One shone bright like the sun, and the other was darkness himself. He wore a long coat and had a crown of onyx upon his head, yet his voice was clear and true. I lifted my head wearily and pricked my ears and tried not to understand what they were saying, but I could not. Humans don't speak in tongues easy for dogs to understand. We only understood their emotions and sometimes their thoughts. When the man with the onyx crown knelt before me and patted my head, I quickly realised he was not a man at all, but a god. Argos does not suit you. I think I will call you Cerberus. And as soon as the words lifted his pale lips, I felt my ancient body shake. At first I was afraid, but the god reassured me, and his eyes did not leave mine, and they made me brave. Suddenly I was young and giant, and 2 more heads that looked more fearsome than an Apulian lion. My paws were the size of small lakes, and strength of 1,000 dogs in my bones. The god, much smaller than me now, looked up and smiled. Good boy. My new master was kind to me. He had many dogs in the underworld, and was wonderful to explore with my new friends, and we always had so much time. The master and his mistress both took me for walks, and although there was no beaches here, the fields of Asphodel were swarmed with white flowers and glades of grass, and even a dome that presented itself with the bluest of skies, bluer than my old master's home. But the best thing ever was that my new master never forgot to pat me or call me a good boy, and I would smile so widely that all 3 of my mouths and the trump of my serpent tail before I returned to guard the mouth of hell. I think that's beautiful. Like, the idea, again, like with Hecate and the transition of going from living to death, like, doesn't have to be bad. Like, it doesn't have to mean that that is the end. And Cerberus literally proves that by being a dog to becoming three-headed guardian of the underworld. So let me know in the comment section below if Cerberus is on your list of great monsters and creatures, if you even knew any of these things. And if you believe the idea of him being the dog and then becoming Cerberus. Like, either way, I think it's beautiful and I love Cerberus. I think it's brilliant. I have this thing about the underworld. It's my favourite place. So I'll see you guys soon. Hope you enjoyed this short video and I'll see you soon. Bye.